So what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. I'm your host, Thomas. And today I just want to talk a little bit about the PlayStation Portal remote and just go over some of the features that it has and just give my thoughts on it, really. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's go. I'm at the So here we go. This is what the device actually looks like. And I don't think it's necessarily for your everyday video game player. But before this was announced, a lot of fans had some curiosities as to what PlayStation's next handhelds are going to be, because as we all know, if you've been playing video games for the past decade or so, we know that Sony is not a stranger to handheld devices. We've had the PSP, we've had PlayStation Vita, so they know their way around a handheld. They know kind of what they're doing. So when this was revealed this year at the PlayStation State of Play, I think a lot of people really had a lot of questions as to why this thing is even a thing. Because with today's technology, you would think that a company like Sony, who prides themselves on hardware, would put a little bit more effort into a device like this, considering that it's a handheld and they're trying to market towards the handheld community. But there's a couple things that I have an issue with, and I think a lot of people also have an issue with. So let's just cover some of the features. So if we scroll down a little bit here, handheld gateway to your PlayStation 5 games. You could play your PS5 console over your home Wi-Fi with console quality controls using PlayStation Portal Remote Player. I thought you were able to go anywhere with it as long as you were connected to a Wi-Fi connection, you would be able to stream your games. Can the PlayStation Portal Remote Player only be played on home Wi-Fi network? While your home Wi-Fi network represents a great option to use, remote player, because you have control over the quality of your own home Wi-Fi, is not required. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. There we go. You can connect to any Wi-Fi to play and stream your games. But just going off this first piece of information that they tell you, doesn't seem like that might be the case at all.
Very nice words, but happens to be wrong.
So if we go down a little bit more, PlayStation Portal Remote Player key features. So it reiterates it right here again, over your home Wi-Fi, letting you jump right into gaming without needing to play on a TV. So this is one of the biggest selling points right here, is being able to play your games on a handheld without occupying a TV, which, as we all know, there's a device already that does that. Maybe not as powerful, but it's the Nintendo Switch. There's two different versions, obviously. We got the Switch and the Switch Lite. You can dock the Switch, and the Switch Lite you could just take anywhere that it doesn't need docked. So with this, it's almost as if PlayStation is trying to attempt to consolidate the PlayStation experience rather than having multiple platforms like the PSP or the PS Vita. It's almost like they're trying to do what Nintendo's doing, but with they're trying to sacrifice as little as possible. However, if it's just connected directly to the Wi-Fi, that's going to impact performance and pretty much anything you can do on this device. So I'm wondering who this device is really going to be for, because it's almost like they want to take a page from Nintendo's book, but strip away a lot of the features that Nintendo is able to do with their Switch, but also charge a premium price for the Portal. Now, if we scroll down a little bit more, play your game collection. PlayStation Portal Remote Player can play compatible games you have installed on your PlayStation console, including your favorite games for PS5 and PS4. So here's one word, or two words, I should say, that really concern me. Compatible games. Is this alluding that not every PlayStation game is going to be compatible for this $200 device? This is a bit concerning considering the price tag of it. They try to sell you a little bit more on the breakthrough immersion DualSense wireless control features, which, I mean, hey, if it adds to your experience on gaming on the PlayStation 5, that's great. For me, it does nothing. Maybe I'm just used to it now. I don't know. But it from Jump Street, it really didn't immerse me anymore. So we got a beautiful 8-inch LCD screen. So not 4K. 60 frames capable at 1080p resolution. It just says full HD. It doesn't say what the native screen actually is, unless this is the native resolution. See, it's a little, the wording that's used, these big corporations know how to kind of tiptoe around not mentioning certain things. Just giving you enough. Get gaming fast. PlayStation Portal Remote Player is a purpose-built device dedicated to delivering an incredible remote play experience. That means you could turn it on, press a button to connect your PS5 controller, and get right to playing with remarkable speed. I think that's a little much to say, considering the device solely is impacted from every person's home Wi-Fi, which means everyone is probably going to have a different experience because it's based on a Wi-Fi connection. But I don't know really who the market is for. The pre-orders are live. Yada, yada, yada. Can the PlayStation Portal Remote Player only be played on home Wi-Fi network? While your home Wi-Fi network represents a great option to use, Remote Player, because you have control over the quality of your own home Wi-Fi, is not required. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. There we go. You can connect to any Wi-Fi to play and stream your games. So it says it can also be played wherever you have access to a broadband internet Wi-Fi, at least 5 megabytes for use. For a better play experience, a high-speed connection of 15. So maybe not out in public, on public Wi-Fis. You're not really going to, maybe a hotel, possibly. But that's awesome. So that answered my question right at the bottom. Why they reiterated it 3 times on a home Wi-Fi further up is kind of, why not just put it as one of the selling things, like right here over your home Wi-Fi or any Wi-Fi network? Like, why couldn't that be right there? It answers a lot of people's questions. Okay, is PlayStation Plus membership required to use the PlayStation Portal remote? No. Okay, that's great news as well. If you're using a remote play to play a game that requires PlayStation Plus, then you need it, obviously. Okay. Can someone else use the TV? Well, we already know that. They've answered that question up here. So, I mean, it seems like they have good intentions, but it's almost like they're stripping away a lot of the features that other devices can do over your home Wi-Fi. Essentially, this is just saying, hey, here's an extra screen for your PlayStation, but it's really not going to be as powerful as the experience on the console because it's going to be based on your Wi-Fi and streaming. And as we know, streaming games, still at this moment in 2023, it is not that good. There's still a long way to go when it comes to streaming your video games, and it comes to the responsiveness and the experience that you get if you've ever streamed video games. I've used a few different subscriptions. The Xbox Cloud, I've used Stadia before. I have tried the GeForce Now, I think it's called, and all of them had very, very similar experiences when it comes to streaming the video games, which is not very good, especially for prices that, these companies are charging for it. Curious what the battery life is going to be. They didn't talk about that. I'm curious about the screen glare. What's that going to be like? I'm sure they're going to sell screen protectors and all that for it, but what's the screen glare going to be like? One of my big concerns is what's going to happen if, one or a few of these buttons malfunction. Case in point, what happens if the stick drift happens? Then what? Is it going to be one of those devices where we have to send it in, or are we going to be able to crack this thing open and replace this stuff ourselves, DIY? Granted, it's going to void a warranty, but I'm just curious. It seems like this is almost like a Switch with less functionality, and it also pushes more of a digital experience because you're streaming on Wi-Fi. Now, it doesn't say anything about physical games being streamed. I would imagine you still could do that. It wouldn't make any sense if you couldn't, because the physical game has to be installed on the console. It's literally the same thing, but it does seem like it's pushing more digital than it is physical, which, in my opinion, I think physical should never go away. I think physical should always be an option so that you can own what you purchase. Whether this is going to be a good thing or not, it's yet to be seen. I have it pre-ordered already because I want to just kind of do a deep dive on this. It's also going to be some content for the channel, but I'm really curious who the market is for. It's almost like Sony is pushing a lot more hardware than they are like first-party games, aside from live service type games that are going to be coming out in the future, so that they can make the most bang for their buck. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of focus on hardware from their end, and I'm just, where's the support after the hardware is released is what I'm really getting at. I know the PlayStation VR 2 for the PlayStation 5 looks awesome. I'm not going to buy it at that price. That's kind of crazy. I'd rather get the Oculus 3 because I already have the first gen Oculus. But it comes out, and then it's really, there might be a game or so that's released for it first party wise, but then there's no extra support. It almost feels like the Kinect, where it's like an option. It's an option thing. And this remote kind of feels the same way. And I also seen that there was earbuds coming out. The earbuds really look interesting, but I just really don't know what the target market was for this device. But you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'm still very curious. Like I said, I'll be getting it on the 15th because I have it pre-ordered, and I'm definitely going to put it to work. You know, I have really, really good internet here. So we're going to put this thing through the ringer. We're going to test out some games, and I'm sure I'll have some footage for you guys up on the channel here, and we'll just go from there on the 15th. Can't wait till it comes out, but I'm cautiously optimistic about this device, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, it's been your boy. It's been real, and I'm out later.